Hey guys, Wolfie here with the special presentation for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia Global. This is the 24th of July, 2020. It's about 12:19 in the morning, going into Friday morning. So this is going to be the Quistis Rework analysis. You guys know the drill. First and foremost, I will have... Actually, let me rephrase that. So first and foremost, you guys know the drill. This is my opinion only. Second, I will have a link to a particular Reddit post that had JP players discussing Quistis' rework in the description below. This is alongside the usual TonberryTroupe infographic via their Twitter handle. So the Twitter handle is going to be in the description below. The Reddit link is going to be in the description below. The Reddit is the particular thread regarding Quistis' rework at JP, alongside the Dissidia database website in the description as well, the link-wise. So we're going to go into the EX realization for Quistis first, because that way you guys get to see what's going on with this particular rework, both the kit as well as her EX ability. So we're just going to scroll all the way down here. And we're going to go into the realization information. So 0 out of 3 post-realization. This removes the certain conditions to trigger the HP attack. So once you get it at least 0 out of 3 post-realization, the conditions to trigger the HP attack is removed. This also introduces a new inframed debuff for Quistis. So she inflicts this new particular debuff, which is framed, called Fading Light. It lowers max bravery and attack. Ugh. So before I go any further, I was in the midst of recording something for this particular rework analysis. However, I was close to my apartment, and some guy thought I was losing my mind, so I was forced to cut the initial recording then and there because some idiot decided to ruin my joy here. So, anyways, with that out of the way, so 1 out of 3 post-realization is a moderate raise to Quistis' max bravery and a great raise to her attack stat. 2 out of 3 post-realization, Quistis gets Instructor's Whip, which is an inframed buff to herself for 6 turns. At the start of each wave, each enemy on the screen will get the Fading Light debuff for 4 turns. When using the EX ability Homing Whip, this deals the 50% of HP damage to non-targets. Instructor's Whip gains the following effects: slight raise to the party's granted Brave limit, slight raise to party's stolen Brave limit. 3 out of 3 post-realization is now the Homing Whip EX ability has a Brave attack hit count going up to 10, tremendously cumulative Brave damage. The bravery that's given to allies is going to be based on the HP damage dealt to the target. Now, Quistis gets an E-Sphere here. Debuff success boost all longer, which, when you inflict a debuff on the target, raises the party's max bravery by 5% for 6 turns. Quistis is not a bad candidate for this one. Setsu's a pretty good candidate on this one. Sarah is a bit of a toss-up here because she is part of the Cursed 6. So, an even Fang can use this one because Fang does inflict debuffs of her own. So basically, anybody who can fit the E-Sphere and can also inflict debuffs. And like I said, the aforementioned, these all inflict debuffs. Quistis of her own, Setzer, Sarah, Fang, Kefka, anybody who can inflict a debuff. And can also use the E-Sphere. Now we're going to go into the rework information itself. So this is only the Crystal Strength level 55 and 60 passive abilities. So with the Laser Whip extension, she does not get any more uses out of this. And some people may have mentioned it, hey, she gets 4 more uses with her rework. She already has 12 uses of skill 1 as it is prior to the rework. So she gets no more uses out of it. So just to do a major clarification on that end. And I want to mention here, so this will be up. I'll do my best to post this before going to work tomorrow, so that's it on that. So when using Laser Whip, so it's anything in red, that's the rework itself. So The party gets a bravery given based on Quistis' max bravery. So the higher the max bravery, the more bravery the party gains. The stolen bravery may exceed max up to 120%. Triggers the HP attack, so basically the conditions to trigger the HP attack for skill 1 is gone. After using Laser Whip, HP attack and Brave attack become their plus variants. So it's the information you see in red. Skill 2 is the Degenerator Whip extension. Brave attack hit count becomes 6, tremendously increased cumulative brave damage, which is the increased effect after the adjustment. So that's the only thing we are seeing here on Quistis' skill 2. Now, what's the good and bad about this particular rework? Now, the good part is that Quistis no longer becomes super reliant on skill 2 when you want to dish out guaranteed HP damage, regardless if it's single target or AoE. Now, what I did like about with the EX realization, it's at 0 out of 3, where the conditions are also removed there. So she no longer has to be super reliant on skill 2 with HP damage. However, this is where the good stuff ends for Quistis. Now, the reason why I say it like that is that according to a post on Reddit regarding Quistis' rework when it came out on JP, there were some that were actually torn about the matter, because you had some people mentioning she could have gotten something better regarding her rework. Some people were actually okay with it. And for those who felt that she could have gotten a better rework, I am actually siding with that, because Quistis should have gotten something better. Because a total of 4 uses of skill 2, meaning that the 3 she's given, get the passes, all that stuff going, plus the AA, those 4 uses are going to be nowhere near enough. And this is really sad, in all honesty, because she could have gotten more uses. And the timing of a global first unit known as RNA has pretty much benched Quistis even after Quistis getting her rework. RNA pretty much benches her at this point on global. I mean, the only thing that Quistis would probably still be good for is just the summit board farming. She's and some of those espers as well. So Quistis, you could probably bench her even with the rework. I mean, the only way you could really use her if she's a favorite of yours. And I like Quistis, don't get me wrong, but she could have gotten a better rework. And what's kind of sad is that outside of the EX weapon post-realization, you need to have it at least 2 out of 3 to deal the AoE splash style damage. She needs another way to deal the AoE's damage. Plus, team composition might make it a little bit difficult for her to be in some team comps. So she's got a lot more negative post-rework than pre-rework. And the fact that the timing is the worst for Quistis. I mean, this is something I don't want to say, but it's something I have to say, because honestly, this is one of those times where the rework could have been better. And Quistis, in my opinion, when it comes to the female units, she is on my list for female units who are in need of a second rework, because honestly, what she was given here on Global kind of solidifies, I wouldn't say kind of solidifies, it very much solidifies my reasoning why she needs a second rework. And I'm hoping she gets something better with her 8080 Awakening and or LD weapon. Because with the second rework, which is what I'm going to get into right now, is that the second rework needs to give her more uses of skill 2. To try to keep her up to speed with Ardant and Leo. Those who can delay for days. Even Y'shtola has her outdone now. Because with Y'shtola, it's like, she may not have to turn the amount of turns to delay, but Y'shtola has her calling card, and that is her EX weapon, because with Y'shtola's EX weapon, she gains a use of stone back. So it's one of those things is where reworks and or global first, this is just really bad timing for Quistis. And when it comes down to her second rework, I do hope that at least the LD is tied to skill 2. Where Quistis pops off the LD, she gets a use of skill 2 back. Or alternatively, she gets the Rosa treatment, meaning that she pops out the EX ability first, and she gets a free skill use afterwards. But yes, Quistis is one of those units who I feel needs a second rework more than most units. And it's kind of heartbreaking for me to say because I like Quistis, but she could have gotten a better rework. So with that, so the next video, like, with me just talking, is going to be the rework, overview for the month. I should be filming that Sunday. And it's going to be, who I picked got the best rework for the month, and who got the worst. As well as if a second rework were to come, would that be able to outdo the current pick? Now, to do a quick recap for Quistis' rework, she could have gotten a much better rework. Point blank. I mean, just doing more to do the bravery, to give Party more bravery, it's not enough. She needed more uses of skill 2, more than anything. And this is where it really hurts her. And the timing with Omnia just became the nail in the coffin. Because Omnia, General Leo, it's just like you really don't need Quistis at this point. At least not for a long time. Now, the thing was with Y'shtola, she may not have the amount of turns to turn delay, but she makes up for that with her EX ability, because the EX ability restores one skill use of skill 1 and skill 2, which is also how Y'shtola can top Quistis on this point. With that out of the way, I'm going to get going. I'm going to be doing the polls right now. So with Wolfie here, signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.